Hi everyone, I'm Pedro and I'm back with some more IELTS tips. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the IELTS speaking part, focusing in particular with part 3. In speaking part 3, you'll have between 4 to 5 minutes to have a discussion with the examiner on issues connected to the topic that you talked about in speaking part 2. Whereas in speaking part 2, you spoke about the topic in a more personal way, in speaking part 3, you'll have to speak in a more abstract or general way about the topic, going into more depth if appropriate. The examiner does not have to stick to a set of questions, so they may respond directly to something that you say. So be prepared for the examiner to ask you to expand further or develop your opinion a little bit more. This part of the test focuses on the ability to express and justify yourself. So the questions you are asked might need you to give an opinion, give an explanation, make a suggestion, say how sure you are about something, compare two things, make a future prediction, or speculate about why something is the way it is. So it's important to listen carefully to the questions, as they will not only give you the context, but also the function and the grammar that you need to use. A lot of candidates will fall into the trap of answering every part 3 question by giving an opinion. But take a look at these questions. What are some of the benefits of low-cost air travel? How do you think the family will change in the future? Do you agree that it's safer to travel now than in the past? The first question is not only looking for an opinion, but it's also looking for you to discuss advantages and disadvantages, and to compare low-cost travel to travel that is not considered low-cost. Question 2, however, wants you to speculate about the future. And the final question is asking you to agree or disagree with the statement, while also comparing the past to the present. What all 3 questions have in common is that they all want you to generalize and to give reasons and explanations for your answers. Now, I know I just mentioned that you need to listen to the questions carefully, but if you haven't heard the question properly or you misunderstood it, you can ask the examiner to repeat the question or rephrase it. You can also ask to explain a specific word. However, only ask them if it's absolutely necessary, and don't keep asking after every single question. So you could ask questions such as, can you repeat the question please? Can you explain what you mean? Or can you explain what the word X means please? So, just like in speaking part 1, you should not give short answers. The examiner is looking for you to present a point and justify it with reasons and explanations. However, there are some things you can do if you're struggling to think of things to say to give a longer answer. One thing you could do is to try to think of both sides of the argument. You can use a point you disagree with to explain why it's wrong, which could then reinforce the point you are making. You could also say what other groups in society may think with regards to the topic, and whether you agree with them or not. Try to use phrases such as far as I'm concerned, or generally speaking I believe, to introduce opinions. And tell the examiner that you're introducing a reason or an explanation by using phrases such as one reason for this is, or another explanation could be. However, don't place all your focus on learning or memorizing complex phrases to introduce what you're going to say. The content is still the most important as a way to show how well you use the English language. To finish off, here's a couple of tips that may be short, but are still as important as the ones I've already mentioned. First, remember to link your ideas with appropriate linking words and expressions. And secondly, don't give personal examples. Parts 1 and 2 of the speaking test are more about you, whereas part 3 is for you to talk about topics in general and how they may affect everyone. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I hope these tips have been useful. Good luck with your studies, and I'll see you in the next video.